So, hello and welcome. You know me. I'm Olena Korольова from school number 47, and as announced, without further ado, we'll get started. So, the first activity that I've prepared today is actually the activity that I created myself, and it is about different cities of Ukraine. Let's give it a go. Let's go to this website. Okay, so it opens. This is the World Wall, and you can visit this website. You can scan the QR code. I show it to you later, and you can do this activity on your own. So this is Ukrainian cities. Let's begin. So here you can see some photos and some interesting facts about the cities, and we have to match the photo with the fact. So the first one, it is a health resort which is known for its medical water Naftusa. I've been to this city, I visited it twice, and I know that it is Truskavets. So it's here, I believe. So Хортиця is a historical cultural preserve that is located in the city. If you know the geography of Ukraine quite well, you know that Хортиця is an island in Zaporizhzhia. So, it is the town which is known by its Palanok Castle. If you like traveling to western part of Ukraine, I bet you visited Mukachevo, and that is where they have Palanok Castle. This city lies on the right bank of the Desna River, about 150 kilometers from Kiev. Actually, our vice principal, Yevgen Volodymyrovich, is from this city. It is the beautiful city of Chernihiv, which I visited together with my friends, with my colleague from the Sources of Tolerance camp. And the last one is, the symbol of the city is the famous Potemkin stairs. And of course, it is Odessa. And I want to say a big hello to all my friends in Odessa, especially to Oksana Snihovska. So let's see, let's have a look whether we did it correctly. Yes, so we have Truskavets, we have Хортиця, Chernihiv, Mukachevo, and we did some great job. Good job, well done. So this was for us to practice, to see how well you know the geography of Ukraine. You can go to this website, worldwall.net, you can scan this QR code, and you can play this game to check your knowledge. Let's continue. So today we will focus more on Lviv, and the question is, why Lviv? So I found this amazing poem by Yurko Izdrik, and it goes like that. To love Lviv, to hate Lviv, to leave Lviv, to come back to Lviv, to be impressed by Lviv, to lose your way in Lviv, to fall in love with Lviv, to die near Lviv, to scream before death, hey, Lviv, I'm still alive. So this is a piece of poetry that shows great love to this magnificent city. I personally adore Lviv. Probably it's my favorite Ukrainian city. I've been to this city a lot of times, and together with my friends, together with my daughter, together with my family, with my husband, and I know some interesting facts I can share with you. So first things first, if you're not so good at the geography, you might be wondering, where is Lviv situated? Barely 100 kilometers east of the borders of Poland, so here you can see Poland on the map, and Slovakia, here is Slovakia, and less than an hour by air from Warsaw, and I remind you that Warsaw is the capital city of Poland, or Kiev, of course Kiev is here, it's the capital of Ukraine, with connecting flights from all over the world situated in western Ukraine, so this is the west of Ukraine. Lviv is a well-hidden marvel, so it's like a perfect gem. So you can see here on the map where Lviv is exactly situated. So somebody might call this a cosmopolitan city. Why? So sometimes Lviv is called the capital of western Ukraine. It is a cosmopolitan city. Having escaped the urban devastation of the Second World War, Lviv is a living museum of Western architecture from the Gothic to the present. The old narrow cobbled streets, and here you can see what cobbled is, and colorful historic core make it one of the best places in the country to visit. And I strongly agree with this point. This is, right here, we can see Площа Ринок, and you can see one of the fountains on Площа Ринок. And I believe it's Christmas, or near Christmas time, because you see some lights, like some fair there, probably. So the Old Town. Just east of the modern downtown is the Old Town, centered on the broad Площа Ринок, the best preserved urban square in Ukraine. At the corners of the Market Square, so Площа Ринок is in Ukrainian and Market Square is in English, there are fountains, actually 4 fountains, decorated with statues of Greek gods and goddesses. So here you can see Poseidon, here you can see, as they call it in Roman tradition, they call her Diana, and this is Artemis in Greek tradition. And you can see some other statues. So like, this is a perfect square. Площа Ринок is a square, and you can see those fountains on the 4 corners of this square. So Lviv Town Hall. In the center of the Market Square is the late 19th century town hall with its tower. So here on this photo you can see the tower, and the view from the top is well worth the climb. I remember when I last visited Lviv together with my colleague Marina Zhurba. Hello, Marina. We did it. We climbed those stairs, and we had, we saw this beautiful panorama of the city. So, Apteka Museum, that is an interesting place to visit in Lviv. Opposite the northeastern corner of Площа Ринок is Lviv's oldest pharmacy. So, Apteka is a Ukrainian or Russian word, and pharmacy is an English word for that. Founded in 1735, the pharmacy shares a 16th century building with the Apteka Museum, featuring exhibits of historic pharmaceutical equipment. So actually it's a very unique building. When you see like the exterior of the building, you can't imagine how big Apteka Museum is. So when you're in Lviv next time, make sure you visit this magnificent building. I was quite interested in this excursion because my husband is a pharmacist, so as a wife of a pharmacist, I had a lot of interesting experience going and having a look at all those bottles and, I don't know, drugs from the past, so it was quite interesting. And another famous attraction of Lviv, actually, probably it's my favorite one, it's Lviv Opera and Ballet Theatre. It is one of the most famous buildings in Europe. Can you imagine? It was built according to the design of famous architect Zygmunt Gordolewski, and it opened in 1900. Actually, when I was in Lviv in last year in February, not this year, but last year, I went to the opera show, and it was Lohengrin by Wagner. It was something incredible. So this is the opera house. Another interesting building is Lviv Historical Museum, and this is actually Karnakt House Department. So this exposition is located in the former palace of the wealthy Greek merchant Konstantin Karnakt. Furniture, paintings, sculptures, clocks, musical instruments, porcelain give a sense of the glory of that era and show the atmosphere of the old city. So if you like some unique objects, if you like seeing some old things, this is the right place for you to visit. Lychakiv Cemetery. So it is the oldest necropolis in Lviv. It covers the territory of 40 hectares with tens of thousands of monuments. Can you imagine that number? Tens of thousands. Such outstanding figures of world and Ukrainian, of course, culture as Ivan Franko, Maria Konopnicka, Volodymyr Ivasyuk are buried there. So if you want to see the grave by the great Ivan Franko, you can visit Lychakiv Cemetery. Jesuit Garden. This is the first ever park in Ukraine. Can you imagine? So Jesuit Garden was created in the second half of the 16th century. During 4 centuries, it changed its name several times. Today, the place is called Ivan Franko Park. And this is the modern image of the park. But just imagine, this is the first ever park in Ukraine. How cool is that? Apostle, the first book in Ukraine. apostle, sorry. So in 1572, the first printer in Ukraine and Russia, Ivan Fedorov, came to Lviv after being banned from Moscow. 2 years later, you can see the date, in 1574, he was the first man to print Ukraine's first book, the Apostle. So this is like the page from this book. You can have a look at it. So actually, another unique fact about Lviv is that it had the first university in the country. So Lviv Jesuit Academy, today called Ivan Franko National University, was founded on the 20th of January 1661, thus becoming the first Ukrainian university. Can you imagine that? This is the image, like the modern one. It's not the very old photo, but still, this is like a unique building. You can see how old that is. And the first monument, which is now lost, was also erected in Lviv. A monument to Polish hetman Stanislav Jablonski was built in early 18th century. It was the first monument ever erected in Ukraine. In 1695, Stanislav Jablonski defended Lviv during the last attack of the Tatars. So you can see this monument, but it is now lost because of the Second World War, because it was replaced and it was lost. It is not there anymore. Another interesting fact about Lviv is the oil lamp invented by chance. Pharmacist Mykolasha told two researchers, John Zek and Ignacy Lukashevich, to try to produce alcohol from oil. When trying to fulfill the order of the boss, they accidentally discovered rational process to crack oil, thus inventing the first world kerosene or oil lamp. This took place in 1853 in Lviv pharmacy called Under the Golden Star, під золотою зіркою. In the same year, Lviv became the first city in Europe that had street lights. So this is the image of gasova lampa, as they call it in Lviv. And it was discovered, invented by chance. So, of course, as usually, I suggest that you can check your knowledge, check your understanding by doing this quiz. Which city in Ukraine? Let's give it a go. Let's see how it works. Actually, yesterday I took this quiz. I scored not the best amount. Okay. So right here you can see you have to name the second largest city. I thought that was Odessa, but actually that is Kharkiv. And then we'll check our knowledge. So has the biggest nuclear power plant in Europe. This is Enerhodar. Is the capital of Volyn Oblast. I knew that because my friend lives there. So the capital of Volyn Oblast is Lutsk. So which oblast capital is the smallest one by population? I'm not very sure. We have answers like Chernivtsi, Ternopil, Sumy, and Uzhhorod. I'm not sure, probably Uzhhorod. Let's click it here, but I'm telling you one more time. Lies not on Dnipro River, so Kyiv, Poltava, Cherkasy, and Dnipro. I'm pretty sure that Poltava doesn't have access to Dnipro River. Poltava Oblast does, or region does, but not Poltava itself. As the beginning of its history had the name Yuzivka, I know that it's Donetsk. Lays not on the sea coast. We have answers like Mariupol, Melitopol, Yalta, and Alushta. So actually Melitopol doesn't have access to the sea, is not washed by the Sea of Azov. Another question is, which city used to be called Kirovohrad? I know that today the city is called Kropivnitsky because my relatives live there. Another question is, which city isn't in Donetsk Oblast? We have Horlivka, Makiyivka, Kryvyi Rih, and Mariupol. Of course, Kryvyi Rih is a wrong question, as well as Horlivka. Was capital of Soviet Ukraine from 1919-1934? And we have Lviv, Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Poltava. I believe that is Kharkiv, I might be wrong. Was capital of Reichskommissariat Ukraine? This is Rivno, I believe. Isn't in western Ukraine Stry, Luhiv, Kovel, and Kolomia. I believe Luhiv isn't in western Ukraine, I might be wrong. I've been to Stry a lot of times. Is the biggest in Kyiv Oblast, not Kyiv? I'm pretty sure that is Bila Tserkva, because I visited Bila Tserkva twice, thanks to British Council Ukraine, which had trainings in Bila Tserkva for us. doesn't have international airport? This is a hard question. So let's think together. Херсон, Ужгород, Ivano-Frankivsk, or Sumy? I believe Sumy doesn't have international airport. I might be wrong. Has the biggest average salary. Actually, yesterday I had the wrong answer. I thought that was Kyiv, but actually that is Enerhodar. Let's have a look. Let's see how well we did. Okay, so here you can see with the green color, they have the correct answers. Oh my God, I think I did everything correctly. So the second largest city in Ukraine is Kharkiv. The biggest nuclear power plant in Europe, Enerhodar. Capital of Volyn Oblast is Lutsk. Oblast capital, the smallest one. Yes, I did it right. This is Uzhgorod by population again. Lays not on Dnipro River, it's Poltava. At the beginning of its history had a name Yuzivka Donetsk. Lays not on the sea coast, Melitopol, used to be called Kirovograd Kropivnitsky. Is in Donetsk Oblast Kryvyi Rih, was capital of Soviet Ukraine, that is Kharkiv. The capital of Race Commissariat Ukraine was Rivne, isn't in Western Ukraine Gluchiv. Is the biggest in Kyiv Oblast, Bila Tserkva. Doesn't have international airport, and again I was right, that is Sumy. Has the biggest average salary, that is Enerhodar. And here you can see the statistics, how well other people did, and what was the easiest question, what was the most tricky one. So this is like here, it's Enerhodar, that is the trickiest question. So you can scan this QR code, you can go to these websites yourself. I remind you that it's jetpunk.com, and it is called Which City in Ukraine, and you can do this quiz on your own to see how well you know geography of Ukraine. And of course, I suggest that after going to Karpuk textbook and reading this big text about Lviv, Florence of Eastern Europe, which is on pages 226, 233. Oh, you can't really see the exercises, I'm sorry, but the pages are correct, I believe. Then you can go to this website, which is called uroku.com, and you can test your knowledge doing Florence of Eastern Europe test. Unfortunately, I don't have QR code, I don't know why, but still. So that is it for today. You can be proud of the fact that we are Ukrainians. We live in a very interesting, nice, unique country, and there are lots of reasons for us to be proud of. We are Ukrainians, and we are proud of it. When the quarantine is over, when we have time, I suggest that we can travel around Ukraine. We can visit Lviv, which is called, I remind you, Florence of Eastern Europe, and we can go to other different cities of Ukraine and have a lot of fun, because Ukraine has to offer something for everybody. So you can always find something interesting in our motherland. Thank you very much. Stay at home. Please be safe. Please wash your hands properly. Please wear protective masks so that we can travel around Ukraine faster. Thank you for your attention.
Дякую.